What's going on, guys? Nick here. Today we're going to be installing the Devsport front splitter onto my Subaru BRZ. Should be a pretty simple install. We just have to remove the front bumper, take it off, bolt all these up. All the holes underneath the car and on here should be all pre-drilled, so we just have to bolt them up, and that should be it. So let's get everything taken apart here, and then we're going to try to get the splitter installed. Now, I already tried to do this one day, but I didn't have enough time to do it, and I had a couple setbacks, like my side marker broke, so I had to put my stock one in for now. It's over there, super glued it back together. We'll see if it'll work. If not, I'm ditching these junk side markers. But we're gonna pull the front bumper off. There's a couple bolts underneath. You disconnect the side markers from the side to expose the clips, pop the hood. There's 10mm bolts and a couple clips, so mostly it's 10mm, and you're gonna need a 10mm, and you're gonna need a flathead screwdriver, and then that should be able to remove the bumper. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a quick update before I go on any farther. I removed all the 10mm bolts from up here. Focus it for you. And there's a little bar that's on there. Take that off. There's all the bolts and all the clips. 10mm and a screwdriver will get all of them for you. And that sets this loose so that it's able to come off. I just got over to the side marker. Got the side marker off. And then you stick your fingers behind here and give it a nice firm pull. And it will separate the bumper from the little bracket that it's on back here. I have to do the same on the other side to get it off, and then after I do that, I think there's 2 or 3 bolts on the bottom that are 10mm, and we'll take them off, and that means the bumper will be free and we can put the splitter on. Okay guys, a couple things not to forget while doing this is there's a couple clips that are kind of hidden, but you want to remove all the ones that are down here on the bottom, obviously. And there is one back here that holds the liner in, and there's also one here that is underneath that clips the bracket that your side marker goes on up into your fender. So you can't forget this one, or else the bumper will not come off. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Each side, make sure you turn the wheel all the way away from the side marker so that you can reach in, unscrew the clips that have the screws on them, and that should be able to set them free pretty easily. I just have to remove this clip and do a couple of the bolts on the bottom, and the bumper should come free. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so as you guys can see, the front bumper is now completely removed. It is over here. I'll get to that later. A few things to keep in mind. The 10mm bolts on the bottom, there's only, let me see, how many do I have over here? 1, and 1, they probably disappeared somewhere. So I think there's only 3 on the bottom, and then there's actually some plastic clips right here that have to be removed so that attach to the bumper. But other than that, make sure you take your side markers off so that you can pull this out through. And there's a little push clip for your daytime running lights in here. Take a screwdriver, push on it with one hand, and then pull with the other, and it should come right off. Now would be a good time that now that everything's off. Check your splash guards, check everything, clean it all up. I'm going to clean the inside of the bumper super quick here because as you guys can see, it's kind of dirty. So there's actually mud on the inside of it. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, bolt the splitter up, and as you guys can see, like I was saying before, there's holes already drilled in it, and they line up perfectly with this splitter. So that's one reason why I like this splitter a lot. I know with the Aeroflow you have to drill all new holes. This one I don't believe you do. So I'm gonna clean it up, start bolting the splitter up, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, now that everything's all cleaned, we're gonna take the splitter, fit it up, put a couple bolts on it so that it fits right, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so the splitter's almost on all the way. I just want to put one of the bolts in so you guys can see. You get a lot of hardware with it. Each one has a bolt that goes through, a nut on the end, and then 2 washers. So you take, let me take this right here, set it down for you so you guys can see. Let's see if I can get the camera focused. Okay, so you have the long bolt that goes through, and then you get a large washer, this one, put that one right up against the head of the bolt, and then you get a smaller washer. When you put the nut on, before you do that, slide the smaller one on so that when you go to put it in, I'll put one of them in right now. Do this one right here, focus the camera. Take the nut off the end with the washer, take the bolt, stick it down through with the washer, the big washer on it, put the washer on underneath, and then screw on your nut. And then it has a Allen head on the end that you can use to tighten it up. But that's basically it. You do that for all the holes. I found out these holes right here are not drilled, so I might have to drill holes for right there. And we have one more to put in here, and then the splitter is going to be on. And then all we have to do for them is to do the rods, just drill holes in the splitter and on the part of the front bumper, and then that should be good for that. Okay, so the splitter is on completely. I drilled the 2 holes in the back here that weren't drilled from the factory, but all the other holes are drilled from the factory, which is absolutely beautiful. Now the only holes we have to do is deciding where to put the support rods, which I have over here. Make sure when you're going to drill the holes for the support rods, they're smaller than the holes for the 2 holes in the center, so that you don't drill giant holes and then they don't fit. So we're going to lengthen these out, measure it exactly where they need to go, mark the holes, drill them, put them on, and then put it back on little beast over there, and then show you guys what it looks like. So stay tuned. Okay, so we have the splitter on with the support rods. We didn't film a lot of the support rod stuff because that can be custom to whatever you want. Just for what we did, I went 6 inches from the Devsport badge on each side, so 6 inches here, 6 inches here, and then an inch from the top right here. So an inch this way. Loosening them up was a little bit of a bitch. You have to take this center post out and then grab it with vice grips to loosen one of the sides, and it tries to fight you a lot, and they like to come apart. So make sure that they're super tight, and keep in mind that one end screws normally righty tighty, lefty loosey. The other side is the opposite of that. So just something to keep in mind when you're attaching these. And quick look of the splitter right there with the support rods. Maybe I can focus it a little better. There we go. It didn't take too long to do the splitter part of it. The rods was mostly what took the most amount of time. But as you guys can see, it is a super aggressive look. We're gonna throw it back on the car now and show you guys some final looks on what it looks like. Honestly, it doesn't take too long to do it. The splitter itself only took about half an hour. The rods added about another half an hour on top of that. So about an hour install, not too bad. And we're gonna throw it on the car for you, show you what it looks like. And I'll show you where I drilled the holes quick in the back. Right up on top of there, there's a hole there, and a hole there. So I'm gonna throw it on the cart, and we'll be good. All right, guys, here's a quick look at the splitter on the car completely, with the rods and everything. If you guys were wondering, I did fix that side marker, but the super glue trick did work, so it is super glued back together because this actually split in half, and then the clip out of the back fell out, so I super glued the clip in, and then I super glued the side marker back onto the little thing it's on. These were cheap side markers. I did a little video about them, how I really don't recommend them. They are DT Motos, so don't buy these, they're junk. But other than that, it is all on the car now, and it looks super aggressive. It sticks out pretty far, as you guys can see. That is, yeah, that's nice. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna end the install for this. I'm gonna give you guys one last look at it. Here we go. Alright guys, so that's gonna end up doing it for the Devsport front splitter install on Subaru BRZ or Scion FRS. It is a very good bang for your buck splitter. It's about 1/4 of the cost of the Aeroflow splitter, and you get pretty much the same looks out of it, and it's also easier to install. You don't have to drill as many holes. You don't have to drill 2, and then the holes, 2 to hold it in, and then whatever it is for the support rods. So it's not too bad. Priced very well, and it feels very good quality. I want to throw a shout out quick to one of my subscribers who showed me this splitter on his car, and I fell in love with it. So I will throw his Instagram here. You guys can check out his car. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this install. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.